The Supreme Court has set for November 17, 2014, the oral arguments on petitions questioning the constitutionality of the Philippines-U.S. Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA. Supreme Court Public Information Office Chief Theodore Te also said that in the event the scheduled date is insufficient to conclude the oral arguments, the parties are advised to reserve an additional day for the continuation tentatively set for November 25. Added details from Hajji Kaamiño.
The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement between the Philippines and the United States faces another challenge as several militants seek to junk it. This is in line with the start of the preliminary investigation of the Jeffrey Jennifer Laudes Lay case, wherein the suspect is U.S. Marine Private First Class Joseph Scott Pemberton. Aside from several protests, there are groups who also filed petitions before the Supreme Court that question the constitutionality of EDCA. Supreme Court spokesperson Attorney Theodore Te announced this afternoon that such petitions were already consolidated and oral arguments is already scheduled.
Rene A.V. Sagisag et al. Versus Executive Secretary Paquito N. Ochoa Jr. et al. GR number 212444. Bagong Alyansa Makabayan, represented by Secretary General Renato M. Reyes Jr. et al. Versus Defense Secretary Voltaire Gazmin et al. In both cases, there are petitioners in intervention. Both cases have been consolidated. The court has scheduled the presentation of oral arguments in these cases which challenge the constitutionality of the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, entered into between the Republic of the Philippines and the United States of America on 18 November 2014 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the Session Hall of the Supreme Court. In the event that the scheduled date is insufficient to conclude the oral arguments, the parties are advised to reserve an additional day for the continuation of arguments. Thus, a possible extension of oral arguments is tentatively scheduled on 25 November 2014 at 2 p.m.
The Supreme Court also served guidelines for the oral arguments, which include the time of presentation among parties and the submission of table of authorities.
Time limitations: petitioners are given 30 minutes to present their arguments. The 30-minute time limit is a total or aggregate time limit for all petitioners. In case more than one lawyer will argue for a party, the lead counsel shall determine how to share the 30-minute allocation with co-counsels. The list of lawyers who will argue and their assignments shall be filed through a manifestation no later than 12 noon of 17 November 2014. Petitioners in intervention are no longer required to participate in the oral arguments. The Solicitor General shall also be given a total of 30 minutes to present his arguments. He shall present his submissions after the court hears from the petitioners. The time allotted for counsels to argue shall be exclusive of the time devoted to interpellation by the members of the court. The parties are also required by the court to submit a table of authorities, which shall list all laws, treaties, domestic or foreign court judgments, and any other source of legal justification that the parties intend to raise or cite during the oral arguments.
The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement was signed on April 28, 2014 during U.S. President Barack Obama's visit to the Philippines. For the People's Television Network, this is Hajji Kaamiño.